Hello students, I am Dr. Suhas Talmale and today we are going to discuss about JNU, that is Jawaharlal Nehru University Combined Entrance Exam for Biotechnology, CEEB. Combined Entrance Exam for Biotechnology is conducted by Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. But the exam is not only for admission in JNU, New Delhi. It is conducted for some of the best universities in India for MSc Biotechnology course. Now, amongst these universities, approximately there are 35 universities. But out of that, JNU, New Delhi University is the topmost. Then Banaras Hindu University in Varanasi, Hyderabad Central University, MS University Baroda, Savitribai Phule University in Pune, Pondicherry University, Annamalai University in Tamil Nadu, MKU, that is Madurai Kamaraj University, University of Mysore, Sardar Patel University Gujarat, Goa University are some of the good universities amongst these. Keep in mind, we are actually going to give this exam for these best universities. It is not necessary that as JNU is giving admission in these universities, all the universities are having A plus or A grade. No. Some of the universities in them are B grade universities also. So, before filling up the form, check out their rank first before the selection criteria, because once you will qualify this exam, from one mail will come from JNU and that mail will ask you about your selection criteria. In that, please first check the rank and then only according to the rank, according to the criteria, you fill up that university list according to your requirement. Now, as we have discussed, this JNU Combined Entrance Exam for Biotechnology, that is CEEB, is conducted for MSc in Biotechnology. And the eligibility is you must complete graduation in any of the life science subject, botany, zoology, microbiology, biotechnology, biochemistry, but at least life science subject will be there. And minimum qualifying mark, if you want to appear for JNU CEB, then it is the minimum mark is 55%. But if you will qualify this exam and if you will enter in any of these universities, you will get a scholarship of 5,000 rupees per month. So, it's a good thing that you can take out your all expenditures. This is an online exam. Just now we have discussed, but we have to apply also online, as well as you have to go for online payment through either debit card or credit card, or some other alternatives are also there. Online exam is completely MCQ based, that is multiple choice question. So out of the 4 options, only one option will be correct and you have to select that one option. And as the exam is online, on your computer screen, on your system, only one question will appear at one time. But if you by mistake, if you will click instead of A, B, C, D option, instead of A, if you will click on B, you can change your answer also until and unless you submit the paper online. So that facility is there. Calculator. You cannot carry your own calculator there, but as the system is there, there is a inbuilt calculator is there, online type of calculator, and you can use that in that system. But just to practice, because that's just like a scientific calculator present in the market, but if you want to practice, then for that you must download any app for calculator which are present online from Play Store, and then you can practice for that, just for practice. Now, the cutoff, if you qualify this exam, the qualification criteria or the cutoff is up to 50%. But keep in mind, in these the toppers of JNU are up to 65%. So hardly 65% marks scoring can make you the topper of this exam. So just be careful while solving the questions. Now, One very important thing is, when you will qualify this exam, you are going to submit a DD of 5,000 rupees, and you have to submit along with that the list of the universities in which you want the admission, and you will send it. But if you have given the option of only 5 universities, and if according to your rank these 5 universities will not be you will not get admission in these 5 universities, then in that case your DD is refundable, it will be refunded. But if you have given a list of 10 universities and out of that 10 you are going to get admission in one of that according to your rank, and if you won't take the admission, then your DD is not refundable, because you have written the choice of the university and they have given you a chance to take admission, but you haven't taken the admission, then your DD is non-refundable. But in JNU, no second round is there, a single round. So only those who will qualify will apply, and if students won't take admission, that much seats will remain vacant, but they won't go for the second round. There will be only one round. So, and also there is no change of university is encouraged, and that's why if you will fill up a particular for a selection criteria, that will be the final. So think before going for options, and mainly the thing which I have told you, before filling up the options of the universities, go for the rank first, check the ranks. Now, how is the exam pattern? According to the 2019 system, keep in mind, from 2019, JNU had started conducting online exam, and they have changed their pattern. Every year they might do some or other changes, but in 2019, there were 2 sections, section A and section B. In section A, there were 30 questions. So, out of these 30 questions, all the 30 questions are compulsory. Means there is not a criteria that out of these 30 solve any 25 or any 20. You have to solve all the 30. If you don't want to solve any question, it's up to you. But if your answer is correct, you will get 1 mark. Means out of the 4 options, if you will go for the correct option, you will get 1 mark. But if your answer is wrong, there is no negative marking. All the 30 questions are compulsory, but all questions are from biology only. But the questions are formula based. The questions are logical reasoning based, but related to biology. Maximum questions are like this. You must be serious in the graduation practicals, because these questions might be from the graduation level practicals also. So try to learn the basics of each and every chemical which you are adding in the graduation level practicals, especially biochemistry, biotechnology and microbiology type of experiments. Now, other than that, the logical reasoning, and for that you must learn probability, because any question might be there related to probability. Now, there is a section B. There are 100 questions, but here you have a choice to solve any 70 questions. But that is not present in section A. All the 30 you can solve. But here you have to solve any 70. In case if you will solve more than 70 questions, then only first 70 will be considered. That's why take care of that thing, because out of the 100, only 70 you have to solve, and if the answer is correct out of the ABCD option, then you will get 1 mark. But if the answer is wrong, there is no negative marking yet. But the most important thing is, out of the 100 questions, 50 questions are from biology completely. So you have to solve 70, and out of 70, 50 will be all biology, but they are of 10 plus 2 plus 3 level questions. So 10th, 12th and up to graduation level. But sometimes some additional questions might be there, but they are completely related to the basic part. And that's why mostly go for learning the basics first. But the rest of the 50 questions might be from chemistry, physics, maths, logical reasoning. I am not saying that the distribution of these 50 questions will be equal. They might give 20 questions from chemistry, or 10 questions from physics, or 15 questions from maths, like this. But 50% questions will be completely from this. And in that, I will suggest you to go for chemistry maximum. Because now in that I will suggest you that you must go for chemistry, because most of the questions are from chemistry amongst this second lot. But all the questions will be from 10 plus 2 level. They won't go for graduation because they don't want mathematician or physician. What do they want? Neither they want chemist, they want biologist. So they are well familiar. The knowledge of yours in this level will not be too high, and that's why they will go for only 10 plus 2 level. So be careful. Then amongst biology, the biology 30 questions, then here 50 questions. NCERT biology, NCERT 11 12 biology questions, biology books, you must read thoroughly. You must read it line to line, and you must go through all basics. Especially classification of plants and animal part is extremely important, because many times questions are asked from that. But don't depend only on NCERT. NCERT will be very important book, but NCERT 11 12 biology. But other than that, go through some better books regarding biology. Biochemistry, for that you must refer Leninger. Techniques related book. Mol bio, genetics, cell bio, microbiology and immunology. These are the main areas from which questions will be always there. And keep in mind, being life science students, you must go thoroughly through this. Basics plus advanced. All these things should be well known. As far as chemistry is concerned, always go for organic, because organic has maximum question as far as the chemistry background is concerned. And in organic chemistry, name the structure and reaction mechanisms are most important. So go for the main reactions, and in that aldol condensation, Cannizzaro reaction, then Grignard's reagent, silver mirror test, such common type of questions, common type of reactions which are very important are generally asked. Aldehyde ketones, alcohol phenol, such topics you must go through thoroughly, and from that the chemical reactions you must learn and their mechanisms. Other than that, from inorganic chemistry, periodic table, D block, F block, complex and coordination compound, it's a very important topic, because generally always one or two questions are there from there. Structure of atom, such common topics are there which are comparatively easy to read and you can go through it. In physical, go for thermodynamics and electrochemistry. I am not saying that questions will be asked only from thermodynamics and electrochemistry. They can ask any question from any topic, but these are the main areas through which you must go. Amongst analytical chemistry, don't forget, in biology we are already going for techniques. In that, spectroscopy, chromatography, electrophoresis, centrifugation, radioisotopes, NMR, all these things you must go through, so that they will be covered automatically in the analytical chemistry part. Now, let's come to the physics. Now, physics and maths are those areas that we are not, we being the students of life science, we are not generally interested in them. And physics and maths are this much. You can go for each and everything. That's why go for limited topics like mechanics. It's comparatively easy. If you go through the formula based questions, you can do it in a time. Electromagnetism, work, energy, heat, resistance and capacitance. If you go for only these much questions, it's well possible that you will qualify the exam. Then other than that, maths, limit, continuity, derivative, integration are the important part. Probability, permutation, combination and matrix. If you will go for these selected 7 or 8 topics, that much is sufficient. And other than that, don't forget chemistry, physics and maths. These 3 subjects you have to go for only 10 plus 2 level. So other than that, one more thing, JNU Life Science exam is also there, but that is for performing MSc or taking admission in MSc in life science and the various fields in life science. And that's a very different exam, but that is having more amount of biology and comparatively other topics are less. So this is all about the JNU CEEB exam. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel. Thank you.